Hi, Chris from Cars and Cables. Yeah, I struggle a little bit with this Cars and Cables because I'm so used to say Chris and Cars, but it's Cars and Cables because this has nothing to do with, or at least not a lot to do with fossil cars, and it's going to be about cars and with a plug-in, with plugs, and therefore cables. But I talked about that in the last video. In the last video, at the moment I'm recording these two videos, the last one and this one I'm recording in my studio because I mentioned, I think, that I make YouTube videos for kids, gaming videos, and I record them in this room. And the sound installation is rather nice. I have a good mic, but the camera is not the best. It's just a normal webcam, so I'm sorry if the picture quality isn't the best in the world. I was a little bit overexposed on the last video. I tried to change the light setting a little bit for this video, but I think we manage. I hope we will manage. At least my sound is loud and clear. But today we're going to talk, or I'm going to talk about my thoughts regarding which EV to choose, and I will reveal my next car in this video. So hopefully I will soon be able to start making videos about these new EVs. But I think we'll start by taking a look at what are the options? What are the options for me, or has been the options? These cars, I know there are other EVs on the market now, like the Honda E, the Peugeot 208, and the DS3, and Opel Ampera. No, not Ampera. Corsa E, of course. And of course, there are more expensive cars, but these cars is in my price range, and also has the size that I need. I don't really need a really big car, but we are three in the family, my wife and I have my son, and he's really becoming bigger, so I need decent room at the back seat too. So these are the cars that I can choose from at the moment. There will be new cars coming in the next year, but like I said in my last video, we are so uncertain about how the tax situation is going to be in Denmark next year. And that means that if I want to be sure what I can get, I have to buy it this year. But let's finish that off, because the three cars that could be interesting should be maybe the ID4 that will be coming, I think, start next year. The Skoda Enyaq, that also is supposed to be around the same time. And of course, some Tesla fans will say the Model Y. I don't really know when it's going to be released here in Europe, when we are going to be able to buy them. But common for those three cars is probably they're going to be too expensive. I'm pretty sure they will be too expensive, because I'm a little bit of an equipment guy. I really like nice equipment. So all the cars we're going to look at here that I will talk about, I've looked at them at the max spec with all the equipment you can get. Every little mark checked on the option list, and that's because I drive a lot, and I'm really I have a passion for cars, and I really enjoy cars. So that's my priority. Some people just need it for transportation from A to B, and maybe they don't care if a car has LED lights and stuff like that, whatever. But for me, it's really important, and so that's from where I'm coming from. But let's start from the top. The Nissan Leaf, that's of course a 62 kilowatt. All of these cars has a range around 400 kilometers WLTP. Yeah. Plus minus, and have almost the same battery size. It's except for the Tesla Model 3, they have more or less the same battery size. That's not a big difference. Nissan Leaf, I don't think I have made a video, and maybe if you all scream about, oh, please make a video, I will borrow one and make a video. But the biggest problem for me with Nissan Leaf, and I can say from start of, this is not going to be my car. There are one really major problem for me, and that's the driver position, because you cannot adjust the steering wheel in and out. I cannot find a good driving position in the car, and the seat, the driver's seat is just a bit too short for me. I'm 180 centimeters tall, just normal guy actually, but I really don't think I get the support from the seats. For shorter trips, yeah, no problem. But if I'm going on a longer trip, like a couple of 100 kilometers, the seats are bad for me. And I cannot find a good and decent driving position. And when I test a car, the most important thing about a car, no matter what, is how I sit in the car. Do I sit good or don't? If I don't, then that's not the car for me. That doesn't mean it couldn't be the car for you, but that's really the biggest, a big negative for me. So the Nissan Leaf, never. I will never buy it because, yeah. And then I think the Nissan Leaf is just, if you look at the interior, the infotainment and stuff like that, it looks old. It looks really, really old and out of date. I'm sorry, Nissan Leaf owners, but that's just my feeling about it. The car after the facelift, it looks okay from the outside. The old ones were not that good looking, to be honest. But I know there are a lot of Nissan Leaf owners that like that car, and if you're just using it for smaller commutes, it's probably a rather good car. But I want to be able to go on longer trips, and I want a more modern car with a more modern features maybe also. So Nissan Leaf is out. The last thing about last con about the Nissan Leaf is it uses CHAdeMO. I think Nissan will come with a new EV next year that will be using CCS in Europe, and that will be good, I think, for Nissan, because CHAdeMO is dying here in Europe. There are charge places, but there's not coming new ones, and it is CCS that's the new standard, at least here in Europe. So that's easy. Nissan Leaf is out. Kia e-Soul. Actually, I really enjoyed the car in many ways. I like the design, but the design is really something that divides people, especially the front. I like. I was driving around with my wife one day, and we had a black e-Soul at the back, and it looks really good. I think it looks a bit like a Range Rover, and from the front, I really do like the design. The boxy shape makes it practical. You can have lots of stuff inside if you need that, but I really don't need all that stuff. And the problem with the boxy shape is it makes the car loud inside. It's a noisy car to drive. But it has the Koreans, both the e-Soul, the Nero, the Kona, has the same drivetrain, the same infotainment systems, and those are really good actually. But there's another problem with them. They still have this fossil mindset about service. You have to, the e-Soul, the Kona, the e-Nero, at least here in Denmark, I cannot say if it's different in other countries, you have to go to a service every 15,000 kilometers, and they are rather expensive. So the cost of owning the car and servicing the car would be greater on those three cars. And I think that's a big con, to be honest. But the e-Soul is a nice car, and I think it actually drives really well, and it's one of the best driving experience if you want of these cars. It's one of the best. It's not the best, but one of the best. I wasn't that thrilled with the console between the seats in the front. It was so too big. I thought I was a little bit cramped inside, but yeah, it's the same actually with the Kona. It has the same drawback. I want a more open design where you don't feel like you're sitting in a little box. But So no e-sol. And the last thing is, of course, because it's such, I think 20% like the design of the e-sol and 80% doesn't like it. We don't sell, there's not sold a lot of e-sols in Denmark, and that's because people think it's ugly. And if I have to sell my car at some point, I want a car that I'm able to sell, and I think that could be an issue, or at least you have to sell it really cheap. So no e-sol for me. Then there's a Tesla Model 3, and that's the standard range plus is in the same price range here in Denmark. And you have to, if you're not in Denmark, maybe the prices are completely different, and you could get a Model 3 long range in the same price range, but not here in Denmark. So I have to compare according to Danish prices. Actually, the e-sol is more than 400,000 Danish kroners. The Tesla Model 3 standard range plus is 370, around 382,000 with the tow hitch, and just in the standard paint. You can pay a little bit more if you want another paint, but yeah. So Tesla Model 3, I think they have the things that are good about Model 3. And Tesla, no, not Model 3 specific, maybe Tesla in general, but not the old, oh, I forgot a car. Oh, I forgot a car. Yeah, I completely forgot one car. Okay, I will take that in the end, fact. No, I will take that. We have to, one moment. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. On the fly, I could edit this out. I won't. It charges really fast. The Model 3 is a really fast charger, and if you go on really a lot of long trips, you have the benefit of really fast charging. It's also really efficient because of the CV value. It's only 0.21, I think. It's really it has a really good design when we talk about wind resistance and being efficient. For some, the supercharger network will be a benefit. For me in Denmark, it doesn't really matter. There are other. Ionity has almost the same amount of places I could charge if that was the case. But of course, some places in Europe, the supercharging network is a big plus. And if I was going around in Europe on many long trips, the supercharger network would be a plus too. So charging speeds, range compared to the battery size, the Model 3 only have a 50 kilowatt battery, and I think that's a gross capacity, not net capacity, and it still has a WLTP range on, I think, 409 kilometers, and it is really efficient. It's a good car if you want to drive longer trips. And it can get a tow hitch, actually a really usable tow hitch. I think it's 1,000 kilos you can tow after the Model 3, and that is actually nice for some. For me, the tow hitch is not really an issue. The Picanto we have has a tow hitch, and it can, I think, we can have like 300-400 kilos after that, and that's enough for us because we have a trailer. We use it to go to the recycling station with when we do the garden and stuff like that, and we can get a new fridge or a couch or whatever we can, or TV. We can put the trailer and drive with that. So I don't really need a tow hitch on my car. We have the Picanto for that. That's nice. If you just have one car and you need a tow hitch, well, the Model 3 is a really good choice. That's the pluses on the Model 3, but I'm afraid I think there are a lot of minuses, and one of them is it's a Tesla, and I think I will make a separate video about my feelings about Tesla in general, because I'm not a Tesla fan. I have to admit, I think they have a lot of issues with the way that they treat their customers and their philosophy about making cars. But that's not for today. The cons is the design. I really think it's from the front and from the back. I think it's ugly. I just think it's ugly. It looks from something from Cars, from the front, and I think the fact that they changed the lights from the Model S, where they had like this running light out the edges of the headlamps, and now they just have two bulbs inside. It looks like eyes. I don't like the design, and I don't like the minimalistic design in the interior. The interior quality is actually, the materials are really okay. It's good. Actually, I was really surprised when I tried it, but the everything in one screen, I'm not a fan. And I know there are a lot of Tesla fans that say, "Oh, it's so good." I don't think it's good. I don't think the fact you have to look down all the time to see what's your speed, and everything has to be controlled inside of a screen. Like open the glove box, you need to go into your infotainment system to do that. It's rubbish for me. I know why they do it. It's of course because they want to save costs, and it's way cheaper to have everything inside the infotainment system instead of using real buttons. I don't need a car with a lot of buttons, so it's not like I'm a button fan and I want 500 buttons, but this is too much. And I think actually, when we talk about infotainment system, and I know a lot of people who say I'm crazy and stupid and do that, I don't care, but I think they are behind. Tesla is behind on the infotainment system now compared to the competitors. If you look at the Koreans, you can actually personalize the infotainment screen like you want to. You can have the information you want to on the infotainment screen. And other cars like the Polestar, Polestar is not on my list because you cannot buy it in Denmark, and it will be too expensive. But that's the trend, that you can customize your screen like you can on your phone or whatever your device you're using, but you cannot do that on the Model 3. And yeah, it's a 15-inch screen. That sounds big, but a lot of the screen is actually used for the stuff you normally have in your cockpit, in your instrument cluster. So the actually infotainment screen is not that big. It's not small, but it's not that big. I don't like it. It's a sedan too, and that's not really practical. I tried. I have been out test driving it, of course. You have to test a Tesla too if you're looking for an EV. But I haven't made any videos because one of the test drives were with the owner, who were really nice guy, and he came and let me have a trip in his brand new car. So I could listen to, because at the beginning there was a lot about noise in the Model 3 and stuff like that. And I always put a couple of suitcases in the back to see in the trunk to see if they fit, and they fit in the Model 3. I could have my two suitcases there. So, but it's not practical. Sedan is not a practical car, so that's a minus. The seats is okay. They are not bad. They are not bad like the Nissan Leaf, and I think they are on par with the Koreans. To be honest, you sit okay. I haven't tested it on a longer trip, but I was sitting okay. The back seats are really low, so if you have long legs, you will struggle with support for your legs. But that's a general Tesla problem, I think, and actually in many EVs that's a bit of an issue. But the thing, my problems with Tesla, I will explain. It will be clear what one of the things that I have a problem with in the next car. But the design inside with only the screen infotainment system, and some of the things you don't get in the Model 3 and you can't get in the Model 3. Yeah, it's just yeah. When it came out, the Model 3 was launched. I was really hooked on getting one, but then they had this the long range rear wheel drive, and that was more expensive, but it was I could afford that, and I was seriously looking at it at the time. But then they really fast stopped selling those, and yeah, okay. Then that was just the standard range plus. The sound, by the way, the sound in the standard range plus, it's not the same as in the normal ones. They have no sub, less speakers, and I really like a good sound system in my car. So that's a con too for me compared to the standard range plus. If it was a long range, I know the sound system is way better. So no Model 3, I'm not going to buy that one. Oh yeah, the last thing, of course, but that's a general Tesla problem. The build quality is crap. Yeah, and I'm sorry guys if you think, if you're coming with this, oh, but they are new in the game. Yeah, they were in 2012. They are not new anymore, and we don't really see any improvements. I've seen videos from the USA about the Model Y, and it's still the same crap build quality. Even the most fanatic fanboy admits that the build quality in the Tesla is not the best. So does that really matter that much? No, actually I could probably live with the panel gaps and stuff like that, but the problem is I don't feel confident that the rust protection would be good enough, and I'm afraid that the Model 3 in Denmark, if we get winters and there will be thrown a lot of salt on the roads, I'm afraid that they will, yeah, in 5 years they will be gone. They will be rusted. I'm not sure. I don't feel confident anyway in the build quality, especially on the hidden places where you cannot see it. And maybe you can, if you see this and disagree, you can find a lot of videos saying the opposite. But I don't feel confident, and I don't need to be confident. Then there is the Model S in a used model, because you can actually get them from 350,000 to 400,000 kroners in Denmark from 2015. Yeah, with a lot of miles and kilometers on them, but they are made of aluminium, and I really the Tesla Model S is a, like, I really don't like the Model 3 just as much I like the Model S. I think it's a fantastic looking car, and I smile every time I see one. Also, the inside, I think it actually has an instrument cluster, and it actually, even if it's that it's old, but it still looks modern and cool. And the 17-inch screen in the vertical position, it looks good. The drawbacks from the Model S is, I don't understand why they don't have an armrest at the back seats with cup holders. There are no cup holders in the back, and I know you can buy some sort of pillow that you can mount in the back seats, but then you have to remove that every time if you want to put down the backrest, and it looks really not good. But the biggest issue I have with the Model S is actually the size. I don't really need a big car like that, and I drive a lot in Odense. That's the third largest city in Denmark. That's city traffic, and the parking spaces are not that big here in Denmark, and Model S is really a big car. So even my heart say it's a fantastic car. It looks really great, but the size. Again, the seats, especially in the back seat, are really low, so people don't really sit that comfortable in the back. And my son is now so big that he would not sit good in the back seat. And then there is the charge gate thing, and that is one of the problem I have with Tesla, because a lot of owners, Model S owners from with cars from around 2015, the pre-facelifted ones, have experienced that Tesla has turned down the charge speed, so they charge a lot slower without any explanation. This means that the Model S is really not a especially fast charging car today. It's rather slow if you are unlucky. Some owners have no issues, but some owners are charging with almost nothing. As this, it's really, and buying a car and risking that you suddenly maybe. You cannot charge fast, and you have to maybe on a trip have to use maybe 30 or 40 or maybe an hour more, or maybe 2 hours more, depending on the length of the trip, of course, because of the charge speed has been reduced, because Tesla don't want to exchange a lot of batteries. Many of these Model S's have unlimited miles on the warranty on the battery, so it's 8 years no matter the mileage. And that's probably why they have chosen to reduce the charging speed. If it has been used a lot on superchargers, that seems to be the case. The problem is also nobody really knows when you will get the reduced speed, because Tesla is absolutely silent. They say nothing, so no one really for sure knows what is triggering. Yeah, people have figured out it has something to do with how much you supercharge, but you don't really know. And I don't like that. That's really, one thing is they do it, but the other thing is they're complete dark about it. I don't really understand why we don't see a lot of lawsuits here in Denmark, at least, because it's not okay to make your product worse by over-the-air updates. But yeah, the reliability of the Model S is in many ways good, but we know there are problems with the MCU, the head unit. They will die at some point. If I was going to buy a used one, I would have to be careful if it had been replaced, the MCU, and the same with the door handles. But that's known issues, and you could say, okay, if you know that and the price is right, then you just calculate that you have to do something about it. That's okay. I think it's a bit bad that the Tesla have kept on producing and kept on exchanging MCUs with the MCUs that would fail again. But yeah, if you want a Model S, you will have to live with that. But the size is actually, and the size and the charge speed is the things that made me realize shouldn't be a Model S. But it's a really nice car. I really love it. I love the look of it, and I love it. It's because of its big. You have so much room in it. It's really nice. Now the Hyundai Kona, that's a really good car too. Common for the Kona, the Soul, and the Niro, they are all based on fossil platforms, which which is not perfect, because an all-electric built car from start just utilizes space better compared to if you have a fossil platform. You will not get the same benefits like a build if it's built on a pure electric platform. But the Kona is really a nice car. I prefer the look of the Niro. I'm not that fond of the look on the Kona, but that's subjective. I think it looks too much of the Citroen. When I meet a Kona, I always have to get really close before I can see if it's a Citroen or a Kona. But it's not an ugly car. And again, range, efficiency are really good. They all, the Kona and the Niro, all charge at the same speed, and maximum speed, I think it's around 76 kilowatt. And they have problems with the charging speed in winter time. Wouldn't be a big problem for me, because I probably won't go on long trips in winter times. Maybe one where I would have to charge, and then it would be for 15-20 minutes. It's not an issue, but for some it would be an issue. The problem I have with the Kona, actually the Kona you can get now with a tow hitch, 300 kilos. That would be enough for me. And I heard that the Niro is coming up with the same 300 kilo tow hitch too. My problem with the Kona is the space at the back seat. It's just too small. We cannot be in the car and it doesn't really matter if my wife sits in the back and my son in the front. He would still have to get the seat at least in 2 years when he's my size. Probably he will have to get the seat so long back that even my wife will not be able to sit there. So the back seat space is it's the thing that makes the Kona out for me. But it's a really nice car in many ways. Again, really nice infotainment system. And I do like the Koreans with their region shift paddles behind the steering wheel. That's a really nice feature, and I really don't understand why why it's not standard in EVs, because I think it's great that you can change the regen level and actually brake your car with the shift pedals behind the steering wheel. That's really nice. Then there is a Kia e-Niro, and I ordered one. I can't remember if I said that in a previous video because it's so long ago, but I actually ordered one in June last year, and I was supposed to get it around now, actually, with all the bells and whistles again, and the price were 417,000 Danish kroners. With all the bells and whistles, and after I ordered, apparently it has been a bit cheaper, so now the price is around 400,000 Danish kroners. Again, if wherever you live, the price can be different, but that's with all extras: sunroof, the leather seats with the cooling and heated, of course, heated back seat, everything, ambient lighting pack, and yeah, everything. A really nice car. I do like the Koreans in general because Koreans have a thing about comfort, like a heated back seat. Even my wife's Picanto has heated steering wheel. A Picanto, that's a microcar. Comfort things they are really good at. Cooled front seats. You can get that in the. Actually, I'm not sure you can get it in the Kona anymore, but you could get it in the Kona, and you could get it in the e-Soul too. Really nice thing on a hot summer day, especially since you're sitting in leather seats. Some of the leather is not real leather, but the place where you sit is actually real leather. So cows had to sacrifice their lives to build these cars. And the space in the e-Niro is fantastic. It's the same as in my plug-in hybrid. It's really a roomy car, and in the electric version, it feels roomy and it's really nice. And I really like the interior design. The exterior, it looks okay, but it's nothing. It's not a head turner like the Model S. When we look at these cars, for me, the Model S is the most beautiful of them all. It's a fantastic looking car, but I like the look of the Niro too. Has some nice features, LED headlights, and yeah, it's a nice car. And I ordered it, and I had it booked, but then. Now we get to the last car. Volkswagen last year started to announce that they would make this ID.3 electric vehicle, and they showed some pictures of a really ugly camouflaged thing, and I was like, okay, pre-booking that one? No, not really. Then it was revealed, and the first YouTubers started to show it. Of course, just how it looked, and I thought, okay, it looked actually good, and it has some features that I thought, okay, that looks really promising. Matrix LED lights, massage seats, and again, for me, it's really important about the seats, and the ID.3 had. Adjustable leg support for the front seats, which is on long trips would be really nice. The head-up display with augmented reality looks like a really cool feature, I thought. So in November I listed up. No, I think it was in August I listed up to get in line for pre-booking, and in November I became a pre-book of the ID.3. So now I had both the e-Niro and the ID.3 in order, and I had to choose at some point between them. The e-Niro in Denmark, this is special for Denmark, because if I had lived in Sweden, this would not be an issue. But the e-Niro in Denmark is still not sold with app support, which means you cannot remotely start the climate control in your e-Niro. And it's built on a fossil platform. There is no over-the-air updates. I know they update actually Some of the systems I know from the plug-in hybrid that when you go to service, they update not just the navigation software but also other features. Not revolution, but they update. You get updates, small minor adjustment, but they update. But not over the air. No connection at all in the Danish. In the Danish e-Nero. The Kona you actually can get with app support now in Denmark, but not the Nero. So no Uber Connect, and that is actually a deal breaker for me, because buying an electric car and not being able to remotely start the climate system, no, that's not going to happen. And I thought when I compared the Nero which with the ID3, I thought the Nero lost simply because it just don't have the same features. It has Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, but it's not wireless like the ID3 will have. So that means we are down to the ID3 first, and have ordered mine in the Max, which mean I will get a sunroof, a panoramic glass roof, not a sunroof. You cannot open it. That's a downside compared to the Koreans, where you can actually open the sunroof. They are not the same size, but you can open and get some fresh air inside. That is really nice. But this will just be a big glass window. Compared to the Model 3, you have a blind, so you can actually shut out the sun, which is a good thing. I think that's one of the problems too with the Model 3, that you have to tint your glass if you want to keep the sun out, and maybe you don't always want it to be that tinted. So yeah, the Max is sold here in Denmark because I'm a first mover. I get the car. It's because price is really important. That price matters, not size. Price matters. The price I have to pay for my car, I ordered with a tow hitch, and I think it's around 408,000 Danish kroner. So 408,000 Danish kroner for my ID3 first. With in the Max edition, which means I have the panoramic sunroof. The head-up display which will come with the augmented reality Q1 2021. They are not finished with that. I will get another thing they are not finished with. I will get the App Connect, and it will be wireless. And matrix LED headlights, massage seats in both seats, not just the driver's seat, but also in the passenger seats. Electric adjustable, no memory. But normally it's me that drives my car. My wife rarely drives the car, and I had electric seats with no memory in my plug-in hybrid. It was not an issue for me. If you are going to switch a lot of drivers, you will probably think it would be nice with a memory. But for me, the memory is not a big deal. I like the design of the ID3. I do like a little bit more modern, like a living room kind of design. I also like the design in the i3 BMW i3. I like that kind of design. I know that a lot of pre-bookers for the ID3 is old Golf owners, and they have problems. They don't like the design, and they don't like the quality of the interior, the plastic. It is a lot of hard plastic, but when you look in the car, when you sit in the car, it doesn't. I don't think it looks cheap, but of course, if you knock on it and touch it, you can feel it is hard plastic. I think that the Volkswagen have decided, instead of using a lot of money and weight on premium interior materials, they used it on stuff instead, like the LED matrix lights and massage seats and that's a priority. And I think for me it's the right priority, because I want the stuff, I want the the gadgets, the features. I don't really care. I don't sit and touch my car all the time, so it's not really an issue for me. But the price, let's get back. The price is 408,000. Like the Nero, it was I would have to pay 400,000 for the Nero, and So the ID3 first is more expensive, you think? No, it's actually not, because I'm a first mover. I get free winter tires, and that's in Denmark minimum 10,000 kroners. So, and I would have to get winter tires for my Nero. So that would be, now it's the Nero is more expensive. You also get a 5-year service plan or 100,000 kilometers for free with the ID3, and that's not just for first, that you get that for the fast lane, the normal models too. As a first, I will get we have a special situation here in Denmark where we have 2 companies where you, for a fee every month, you can charge all you want, and you pay your electric bill, and then you get a refund for every kilowatt you have used for charging your car, which means that I can for like 700, 800 Danish kroners, that's around 100 euro, I can charge as much as I want. And I can of course use that charges outside too. I get 1 year free. I don't have to pay anything for my electricity for my car for the first year. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, that's actually, and I got the installation for free too. That's again another 8,000, 9,000 kroners. You would get that with the e-Nero too. That's for free too, but you won't get the fee you have to pay every month for free. That's included in the price. And beside that, you get 2,000 kilowatt or 600 euros worth of charging you can use for the first year around on WeCharge. That's Volkswagen's what they call their chat network. Of course, it's Ionity, but and Propolis and others. It should be 150,000 charging spots in Europe. It seems like the information about it is a bit sketchy, so nobody really knows where you can charge. But I don't know. I haven't got my info yet. I haven't got my car yet, so I don't know when I make this video. So if I look at what I get for my money, the choice is really not that hard. I have been out test driving the ID3 too. I haven't made a video because I'm going to make video with my ID3. And what I can say is, when I look at the list here and you look at the list, the ID3 is without comparison the most quiet of them all. There's almost no noise in the car. It's so well insulated. I was blown away. I didn't expect that. It also have a really good driver assistant system where it reads traffic signs, the speed limit signs, and adjusts the speed in the car according to that. It reduces speed when you're closing in on a roundabout or a sharp turn, and it does that in all the trims, the base, the middle, and the max version. The max version also has a really good, from what I haven't seen it, but from what I've seen on YouTubers that have tested it, it's a really good system regarding keeping your car in place in lane. And Volkswagen in general normally good at that too. I look forward to test it for myself. It has over-the-air updates, of course. The first update will be on the service center, but that's because, I don't know, they say they need to do it because it's such a big update. According to Volkswagen, it should have over-the-air update ready from start, so I don't know why. But it has, so in the future you will get the updates over the air. It's also 5G ready, which means it has the hardware for 5G connectivity. 5G is not something we have really in Europe, but it is starting, and I guess it will be rolled out in the next couple of years in Denmark. Not maybe all over the place, but a lot of places. Normally we are pretty fast because we are a small country. Easy for the companies to roll out new technologies. The 4G went rather smooth to fast. So it's ready for 5G, which is nice, I think. It has a lot of features that are really nice. I will go more into depth when I get my car and I can show you the features I'm talking about. And I'm just looking forward because I think I don't think it looks smashing good like the Model S. I think it looks okay, and I think the ID3 looks better than the Golf, because the Golf I'm not that fond about, but it's not. I'm not blown away by the design outside. It's okay, and it's not ugly. But I do like the design inside. Of course, it would be nice with the leather in premium materials all over. But yeah, then the price would be bigger. So, my God, if this is a long video, 44 minutes. Sorry. Are there anyone left? I think I will end it now. But this is that's my thoughts about the cars. I probably forgot something, but that's the reason why I ended up buying the ID3 first. What has been going in my mind? I really researched a lot on all the cars because I don't really care about brands. Every time I get something, especially a car, for me it matters what do I get for my money. If it's a Volkswagen, a Kia, a Tesla, a BMW, an Audi, whatever, I don't really care the brand label. I want to know what do I get for my money, and do I get the things that I need, like good seats, silent car, good driver assistance system. You know from my plug-in hybrid videos that I use the adaptive cruise control a lot, so it's important that works well. Oh, that's actually another reason why I didn't want the Model 3, because the adaptive cruise control, phantom brakes a lot. Still, yeah. So that's my thoughts on these cars, and the reason I will get ID3 First Max in a couple of days. Thanks for watching. Feel free to ask any question, and I know some will disagree with me. It's fine. People, feel free to disagree. Feel free to say, oh, but the Tesla Model 3 is the best car in the world. Feel free to think that. For me, it's not. And I'll try to argument why. And for my needs and for my wallet, the ID3 First seems to be the best choice. And I say seems because I haven't tested it. I haven't tried my own yet. Let's see if there will be problems, hiccups. I'm pretty sure there will, and I will of course cover them in the future videos. Thanks for watching. Press the subscribe button on the way out if you haven't done it already, and then take care and see you in the next video. Bye bye.